Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today you're probably seeing me in a different location in the room. I'm right now sitting right in front of my radio transceiver, and I'm doing this thing called FT8, which is like computer digital contacts with other stations around the world. And it's so much fun, and it's very, very addicting, and it makes me happy. It's just fantastic. But I did promise you a meditation, and I did write one. It's rather short though because my time is so limited today. But I'm going to first, before I start, I'm going to pull a card and see. Yeah, come on out. The Wheel of Fortune didn't want to come out. So I'm going to pull a card and I'm going to see what we get for today. I'm hoping for a happy card because I'm in a happy mood, and I hope that you are as well. Yeah, today is Sunday. It is May 18th, 2025. I skipped a day. I had my day off yesterday and I worked on my other cards. Not these, but other cards. And I got a lot of them done. It was surprising that I got so much finished, but it was also surprising because it was so much. There was a lot of work to do with them. And so I took the day off to do that and to get it done because I knew that I had to. And I just really didn't want to. I didn't want to spend too much time doing that. Oh, I just got the message that the connection worked. Yay. So very happy. So I'm going to pause this for just a second and I'm going to show you. So what this is it's a computer. This is a computer program that uses that connects ham radio operators to each other, and it's a lot of fun to do. But it is highly, highly addictive. And I keep a log of all of those contacts that I have on the radio, and then I record them in a notebook, and I have them on the computer in a log. So this is what I am doing right now, and it's so much fun, and it's very, very addicting. But it's just great. It's an absolutely amazing thing. So I have to write down the numbers here, which is plus 23, minus 18, let's see, plus 23, minus 18, and what call is that? Oh, that's a Belgian call sign. So Oscar November 5, Romeo Oscar Golf, and the time is 13:11. Okay, and then I can click OK. So here, where's the OK here? Okay, so, and then if I want to call, then I click on Enable, and then it will call. And then the people will be able to answer. And yeah, there we go. So this one answered. This is another German station, and they answered my call with a looks like a -8, but let's see if it goes through. It's really interesting though. It's a lot of fun to do this, even though it seems boring. And I mean, if you're watching this and you're like going, God, what in the world is this woman doing? This is just one of my hobbies. This is something I absolutely love. And see, there it is. This is the confirmation that I had the contact with that station. And so that is how it works. So, yeah. Okay. So now that you know that I'm really nuts, I'm going to pull a card because I have the cards here. And then you got to see me have a contact in ham radio without saying a word. Of course, I'm talking to you, but yeah. So let me just pull a card here and we'll get started on the meditation because I multitask very well. And my guides know that they already know I'm nuts, but there's a card here. And the card that we have for today is the Five of Wands. Whoopsie. Ugh, the Five of Wands decided to go for a walk. This is the Five of Wands. This is the card for today, and it's about, it looks like these guys are kind of cosplaying or something, because they look like they're wanting to like have a fight with each other, but they don't know who to have a fight with, because it looks like they're all just like holding their wands and just kind of, just standing there looking at each other and going, who should I go into battle with? Um, that is how it sometimes goes. So another station just called me, which is very cool. Okay, so let me. There we go. Okay, so that is the Five of Wands card, and yeah, they don't look like they're doing anything. They just look like they're kind of pantomiming or something. So that's the card, and let me go ahead and I'll read the meditation. I said day 14th, May 18th, 2025, and it's called Nuns on the Run. I know that was a movie, but that's what I called it because this is like kind of weird, and I'm weird. So anyway, I said I enjoyed my day off yesterday, but the video I posted seems to reflect on the mood. Things here are very busy. I hope that I can stay centered and do this. I feel a bit frazzled. And Nigel says, you are, but it's better to take a day off than to force yourself to do something. As you have often said, it is a matter of enjoying yourself and getting something out of this. I said the interpretations of the dreams are not all accurate. And Nigel said they were accurate enough. The words you said were not in the scope of complete accuracy, but instead of finding a balance between the actions that play out and what you feel about it. I said, I know I am meant to learn from this, but I really want to at least be accurate. Nigel said, let me put it to you like this. The dreams are accurate. The cards not as much so. But you are learning to see the cards and use the cards. Just be patient with yourself. It is like playing the flute. You may not be a maestro, but you are improving, and that act of improving is the key to learning. So don't put too much emphasis on and focus on the act of learning. Just allow yourself to learn and try not to worry about it. And I said, you make it seem simple. And Nigel says, it is simple, perhaps more simple than you can imagine. Just consider this. The act of learning is part of the process. Now let's talk about your latest dream. I said, this was not a long dream, but the main concept is here. I called it nuns escaping from a convent, but perhaps it's better put as nuns on the run. In the dream, I was walking in a strange place, and I saw these two nuns. They had frightened looks on their faces and seemed as though they were trying to get away from the convent. For some reason, I had this impression that they had been on the run. Without thinking of the consequences, I offered to help them. It was a very short dream, not a lot of substance to it. Metatron says, the notion of being on the run, perhaps the idea that you are looking for is the notion of being trapped in a specific circumstance, and then having to try and find your way out of it. A nun is a person of conscience. That is, she is tied to the convent through the vow she makes to the order. So when you see nuns running away, you can infer that the act of running away may not seem on the surface. It may simply mean running to somewhere or something. As children, when one does not get their way in any given circumstance, they opt to saying, I'm going to run away from home. But the consequences of such actions could be devastating. You offer to help. What would you do? I said, I don't know. That whole thing felt a bit vague to me. I mean, here we are in this sort of dynamic where I see these two nuns running, and while I noticed that they were afraid, I could not ascertain why specifically they were. It felt as though they knew something that I did not know, and that I wonder now, looking back, if it was something I was unwisely offering to help, but not knowing why. The thing is, I think that the human nature is embodied in this notion that if we can help someone, we will. And Metatron says, so in essence, you are asking why you offered to help them strictly from seeing the fear in their eyes. I said, yes. When someone is afraid, I want to help. I want to help. It is a genuine human response to try and help, even if we don't clearly understand the motivations behind it. It was like the Doctor Who story with the Meep. It looked all so cute and cuddly. And then after it was backed against a wall, it showed that it was pure evil. The expression that was on its face was no longer cute and cuddly, but instead it was a menace. But there were none. These were nuns. They were not evil beasts. Metatron says appearances can be deceiving. You could easily be put in a precarious position based on judgment of another's appearance. It does not necessarily mean that the nuns from your dream are going to turn into evil monsters. But it is an idea that demonstrates that the idea of sometimes things are not at all what they seem. People in today's world have been deceived by appearances. That is becoming a real issue when you look at the state of the world. Good intentions can and often do lead to consequences that are not good or desired. That is the significance of the dream. I'm not telling you to fall into thoughts of doubt, but instead about listening to your mind and heart. The act of knowing and understanding is what will bring you further along. You sometimes fail to listen to your instincts, but it often times you do. It's just your task of being aware. I said, I think that is interesting. So in this case of being unaware of people's true intentions. Metatron says, yes, it is, but it was a good lesson. I said, I think I want to stop for today. I'm really tired. Is that all right? And Metatron says, of course, take a rest and we'll continue tomorrow. And that's where we left off. So I think part of it is that I'm really, really distracted because my ham radio stuff is so much fun and I'm having so much fun with it. And I think that that's kind of a good thing too, because sometimes we need this. We need a break from everything that's going on. We need a break from the things that we are doing, like one day after another. We need the time to come to ourselves, to recuperate, to enjoy something. Not just to think, oh, I have to do this now. I have to make sure I get my 6,000 steps in. I have to make sure I do my meditation. I have to make sure I do this. Because then it becomes drudgery. And then it becomes something that we don't want to do. And the thing is, the idea is not to sit and say, oh, I have to do this and I have to do that. But instead to say, I'm going to enjoy doing what I'm doing. I'm going to make the best of what I am doing. And I'm going to enjoy it to the fullest. And guess what? That is a lesson that I think we all can take something away from. So I hope that you enjoyed that. I hope you enjoyed a little view into my ham radio activities. As far as the card is concerned, I'm going to let you decide what this means in reference to the dream. Is it about appearances being deceiving? Is it about people making choices about who to help and who to defend themselves from? The question is there. Sometimes the question's more profound than the answer. So I'm going to let you decide on that, and I'm going to take care. Have a wonderful day. Go out and do something you enjoy. Spend an hour doing what you love the most, and it will bring you so much joy, and that is what I wish for you today. Take care, and as always, namaste.